Character building stories. The Fairy Temple. It was night, a glorious moonlight night, and in the shade of the leafy woods the queen of the fairies was calling her little people together by the sweet tones of a tinkling silver bell. When they were all gathered round, she said, "My dear children, I am going to do a great work, and I want you all to help me." At this the fairies spread their wings and bowed, for they were always ready to do the bidding of their queen. They were all dressed in lovely colors, of a gauzy substance, finer than any silk that ever was seen, and their names were called after the colors they wore. The queen's robe was of purple and gold, and glittered grandly in the moonlight. "I have determined," said the queen, "to build a temple of precious stones, and your work will be to bring me the material. Receivings," she continued, turning to a little fairy clad in delicate pink, "and fair as a rose, you shall bring rubies. Grass green, to a fairy dressed in green, your work is to find emeralds, and shiny wings, you will go to the mermaids and ask them to give you pearls." Now there stood near the queen 6 tiny fairy sisters, whose robes were whiter and purer than any. The sisters were all called by the same name, Crystal Clear, and they waited to hear what their work was to be. "Sisters Crystal Clear," said the queen, "you shall all of you bring diamonds. We shall need so many diamonds." There was another fairy standing there, whose robe seemed to change into many colors as it shimmered in the moonlight, just as you have seen the sky change color at sunset. And to her the queen said, "Rainbow robe, go and find the opal." Then there were 3 other fairy sisters called Goldwings, who were always trying to help the other fairies and to do good to everybody, and the queen told them to bring fine gold to fasten the precious stones together. These are not all the fairies who were there. Some others wore blue, some yellow, and the queen gave them all their work. Then she rang a tiny silver bell, and they all spread their wings and bowed before they flew away to do her bidding. After many days the fairies came together to bring their precious treasures to the queen. How they carried them I scarcely know, but there was a little girl, many years ago, who often paused at the window of a jeweller's shop to gaze at a tiny, silver boy, with silver wings, wheeling a silver wheelbarrow full of rings. And the little girl thought that perhaps the fairies carried things in the same way. Anyhow, they all came to the queen bringing their burdens, and she soon set to work on the temple. "The foundations must be laid with diamonds," said the queen. "Where are the 6 sisters? Ah, here they come with the lovely, shining diamonds, which are like themselves, clear as crystal. Now, little gold rings, bring your treasure." And the 3 little sisters brought the finest of gold. So the work went merrily on, and the fairies danced in glee as they saw the glittering temple growing under the clever hands of the queen. She made the doors of pearls and the windows of rubies, and the roof she said should be of opal, because it would show many colors when the light played upon it. At last the lovely building was finished, and after the fairies had danced joyfully round it in a ring again and again, until they could dance no longer, they gathered in a group round the dear queen, and thanked her for having made so beautiful a temple. "It is quite the loveliest thing in the world, I am sure," said Rosy Wings. "Not quite," replied the queen. "Mortals have it in their power to make a lovelier temple than ours." "Who are mortals?" asked Shiny Wings. "Boys and girls are mortals," said the queen, "and grown-up people also. I have never seen mortals build anything half so pretty as our temple," said Grass Green. "Their houses are made of stone and brick." "Ah, Grass Green," answered the queen, smiling, "you have never seen the temple I am speaking of, but it is better than ours, for it lasts forever. Wind and rain, frost and snow, will spoil a temple in time, but the temple of the mortals lives on, and is never destroyed." "Do tell us about it, dear queen," said all the fairies. "We will try to understand." "It is called by rather a long word," said the queen. "Its name is character. That is what the mortals build, and the stones they use are more precious than our stones. I will tell you the names of some of them. First, there is truth, clear and bright like the diamonds. That must be the foundation. No good character can be made without truth. Then the sisters crystal clear smiled at each other and said, "We brought diamonds for truth." "There are honesty, obedience, and many others," continued the queen, "and kindness, which is like the pure gold that was brought by gold rings, and makes a lovely setting for all the other stones." The little fairies were glad to hear all this about the temple which the mortals built, and Goldwing said that she would like above everything to be able to help boys and girls to make their temple beautiful, and the other fairies said the same. So the queen said they all might try to help them, for each boy and girl must build a temple, and the name of that temple is character.